Men, the bedroom reveals truths that words can hide. When she changes how she acts during intimacy, she's not just trying new things. She's often reflecting a mental and emotional shift towards someone else. Today, we're breaking down 5 specific bedroom behavior changes that reveal she's thinking of someone else when she's with you. Before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit hype to boost this episode. Drop a comment below with your city or country. I'm always curious where viewers are joining from. Change. 1. Suddenly avoiding eye contact. During intimacy, when she starts keeping her eyes closed throughout intimacy, looking away, or avoiding your gaze during moments that used to be intensely connected, she's not just changing her preferences. She's mentally disconnecting from you because eye contact creates emotional intimacy that conflicts with the fact that she's fantasizing about or emotionally invested in someone else. How this change works. Eye contact avoidance works by eliminating the emotional connection that makes guilt unbearable. When she looks into your eyes during intimacy, she confronts the reality of betraying you. By keeping her eyes closed or looking away, she can mentally replace you with her affair partner or the person she's emotionally involved with, making the physical act with you psychologically easier. Notice if eye contact was previously a significant part of your intimate connection. If she used to hold your gaze during intimate moments and now consistently avoids it, the shift reveals that looking at you creates cognitive dissonance she can't handle because she's thinking of someone else. Pay attention to whether she seems physically present but mentally absent. If she goes through the motions of intimacy but seems disconnected, distant, or like she's somewhere else mentally, that's because she is. She's fantasizing about another person while being physically with you. Watch if she suddenly prefers positions that prevent face-to-face contact. If she now consistently chooses positions where you can't see her face or she can't see yours, the preference reveals she's avoiding the emotional connection that eye contact creates because that connection interferes with her mental infidelity. The psychological purpose. This change serves to reduce guilt by eliminating emotional connection during physical intimacy, to make fantasizing about someone else easier without the confrontation of seeing your face, and to create psychological distance that makes the physical betrayal feel less significant. How to recognize it. When intimate eye contact disappears after being a consistent part of your connection, recognize emotional disconnection. She's avoiding your gaze because looking at you while thinking of someone else creates unbearable guilt. The avoidance reveals divided loyalty. Change 2. Introducing new techniques or preferences she never mentioned before. When she suddenly wants to try things she's never expressed interest in, uses techniques that are surprisingly different from her usual approach, or demonstrates knowledge of intimate acts she never mentioned wanting to explore with you, she's not discovering new preferences independently. She's introducing things she learned with or from someone else, techniques her affair partner taught her, or preferences he established that she's now bringing to your bedroom. How this change works. New techniques work as evidence of outside influence because intimate preferences don't typically change dramatically without new experiences or new partners. If she suddenly knows how to do things she never did before, someone taught her. If she suddenly wants things she never wanted before, someone else wanted them and influenced her preferences. Notice if the new preferences seem confident and practiced rather than experimental and tentative. If she's trying something new but performs it with the confidence of experience, she's not learning with you. She's applying skills developed elsewhere with someone else. Pay attention to whether she can explain where these new interests came from. If you ask what made her interested in trying something new, and she gets vague, defensive, or claims she just thought it would be fun without any clear origin story, the vagueness covers that the real origin is another person. Watch if the new preferences coincide with other changes like increased time away from home, secretive phone behavior, or emotional distance. When multiple affair indicators appear simultaneously with new sexual preferences, the correlation reveals that a new person in her life is influencing everything, including intimacy. The psychological purpose. This change occurs because she's learning and experiencing things with her affair partner that become part of her sexual repertoire, which she then unconsciously or deliberately brings to intimacy with you. It serves to create variety that reduces her guilt about the affair by improving your sex life, and to test whether you'll accept the things she's doing with him. How to recognize it. When sudden, confident new techniques appear without clear origin, or when preferences shift dramatically without corresponding communication about wanting to explore new things. Recognize outside influence. Sexual knowledge and confident new preferences typically come from experience, not imagination. Change 3. Requiring fantasy or pornography to become aroused. When she suddenly can't become aroused without watching pornography first, needs to read erotic content, or requires elaborate fantasy scenarios to engage sexually when she used to be easily responsive to you, she's not developing new arousal patterns. She's needing external stimulation to mentally replace you with fantasy, or to recall encounters with her affair partner, because you alone no longer arouse her. How this change works. Fantasy dependence works by providing mental content that allows her to be physically present with you while mentally engaged with someone else. The pornography or fantasy scenarios serve as bridges that let her access arousal she now associates with another person rather than with you. Notice if this requirement appeared suddenly rather than gradually. If she went from responsive to requiring external stimulation over a short period, something changed her arousal patterns, usually a new person who created new associations that make arousal with you require mental substitution. Pay attention to the type of fantasy or pornography she requires. If it features men who look different from you, scenarios that don't resemble your relationship, or dynamics that contradict how you typically interact, the content reveals she's using it to mentally replace you with characteristics that match someone else. Watch if she seems distant or disconnected even when using these aids. If the fantasy or pornography helps her engage physically, but she still seems emotionally absent, the tools are working to get her body to respond while her mind and emotions remain with someone else. The psychological purpose. This change serves to maintain physical intimacy in your relationship despite her mental and emotional investment in someone else, to reduce her guilt by keeping the sexual aspect of your relationship active, and to meet your needs without requiring genuine desire for you. How to recognize it. When arousal suddenly requires external stimulation after years of natural responsiveness to you, recognize shifted desire. Her arousal patterns changed because her desire shifted to someone else. The external stimulation is a workaround, not a preference. Change 4. Dramatic increase or decrease in sexual frequency. When intimacy suddenly becomes much more frequent with renewed enthusiasm you haven't seen in years, or alternatively drops dramatically to rare or non-existent encounters, she's not experiencing natural fluctuation. She's either overcompensating for guilt by love bombing you with physical attention, or she's withdrawing because she's getting her physical and emotional needs met elsewhere. How this change works. Frequency changes work as affair indicators because they represent her managing the cognitive dissonance of being physically involved with two people. Increased frequency compensates for guilt and maintains cover by keeping you satisfied and unsuspicious. Decreased frequency reveals she no longer needs or wants physical intimacy with you because someone else is fulfilling that role. Notice the timing of frequency changes. Did intimacy increase after periods when she was distant or unavailable? The compensation pattern reveals guilt management after being with her affair partner. Did frequency decrease after she joined a new social circle, started a new activity, or began spending time with someone specific? The correlation reveals where her intimate energy is actually going. Pay attention to the quality of intimacy when frequency increases. If she initiates more often, but seems to be going through motions without genuine passion or connection, the increased frequency is guilt-driven obligation rather than genuine desire. She's maintaining the sexual relationship to prevent suspicion, not because she wants you. Watch if decreased intimacy comes with excuses that don't match her energy in other areas. If she claims to be too tired for intimacy, but has energy for late nights out, new hobbies, or extensive phone conversations, the tiredness is selective. She has energy, just not for you, because it's being spent on someone else. The psychological purpose. This change serves to either manage guilt through overcompensation or to naturally withdraw from physical intimacy with you, because emotional and physical investment has shifted to someone else. Frequency changes reflect where her intimate energy is actually directed. How to recognize it. When dramatic changes in frequency occur without corresponding. Life changes like health issues, new medications, or major stress recognize affair indicators. Sudden increases often mean guilt management. Sudden decreases often mean replacement. Change 5. No longer initiating or showing enthusiasm. When she stops initiating intimacy entirely, responds to your advances with obligation rather than enthusiasm, or treats physical connection as a chore to complete rather than something she desires, she's not just experiencing low libido. She's lost sexual and emotional attraction to you because that attraction has transferred to someone else. How this change works. Loss of initiation works as an affair indicator because desire doesn't disappear, it redirects. If she used to want you and pursue intimacy but now shows no interest, her desire didn't vanish. It shifted to someone else who now receives the enthusiasm, pursuit, and genuine attraction that used to be directed at you. Notice if she seems relieved when intimacy ends or when you don't pursue it. If she appears happy that sex is off the table rather than disappointed, the relief reveals that intimacy with you has become something she endures rather than enjoys, usually because her intimate satisfaction is coming from someone else. Pay attention to whether she makes excuses to avoid intimacy but seems energized and engaged in other areas of life. If she's too tired, too stressed, or not in the mood with you, but appears vibrant, attractive, and energetic otherwise, the rejection is specific to you. Her energy and enthusiasm exist, they're just directed elsewhere. Watch if all physical affection decreases along with sexual initiation. If she no longer kisses you spontaneously, avoids physical touch, or seems uncomfortable with affection that used to be natural, the comprehensive physical withdrawal reveals she's maintaining physical boundaries with you because physical intimacy now belongs to someone else. The psychological purpose. This change serves to naturally reduce physical intimacy as she emotionally and physically invests in someone else. To avoid the guilt and cognitive dissonance of being physically intimate with you while desiring someone else, and to create distance that makes an eventual separation easier. How to recognize it. When initiation disappears and enthusiasm is replaced by obligation, recognize redirected desire. Her sexual energy didn't vanish, it just stopped including you. Look for where that energy is actually going.